All right, we're out on a job on the south side of San Antonio. Aaron, what you working on today, buddy?
Oh, we've got this truck here. Customer was complaining that vehicle was freezing up. You know, the AC, they're running it, it's continually freezing up, then it'll dethaw. That is normally due to a low Freon charge. We'd been out here, we actually put the AC kit in this vehicle and it passed the pressure test at the time we were out here, but looks like we have some evidence that possibly somebody was messing with the system. So ultimately we do have a leak and we found it. It's actually coming from this low side valve here. See if we can show you what's going on. Inside this valve is a Schrader valve, okay? Basically, these are screw-in valves that you hook your service ports up to. They're spring-loaded, okay? So this one is bent, okay? Pretty thoroughly. Most of the time, that happens when somebody hooks up one of those AC kits that you buy from a parts store, okay, that charge it yourself Freon. All right, that is a huge market in automotive and probably the biggest ripoff in automotive. Okay, you cannot charge an AC system that's not under vacuum. So if you're ultimately just adding Freon to a system, one, you have a leak, you have to have a leak, or the system wouldn't have gone away. But at the end of the day, you can't put fresh Freon in on top of air. Air and Freon do not mix. They're not good friends. It will cause your pressures to climb, cause them not to drop. Either way, it's going to askew your cooling properties all the way across the board. But bigger than that, those plastic valves that they have on them, when you hook up to this low side, okay, you have the low side that we just disconnected. Okay, you can see that says low. Okay, you have your high side. You service on the low side, but when you hook one of those up, ultimately what happens, you take a risk of damaging that Schrader valve. This one is now bent and broken, which ultimately came from one of those kits. Now, they didn't have a leak, but now they do. Now the system is leaking pretty consistently because we broke the Schrader valve when they hooked up that kit. Okay, so future reference, guys, the only way you can truly service an air conditioning system with the correct gauge set and vacuum, you have got to be able to vacuum the system down to a negative 30 inches or better in order to recharge the AC system and make sure there's no air in it. So stay away from those buy it yourself AC Freon can, guys. We get those calls all the time that a customer, you know, oh, I tried to do it myself. They cause more problems than they're worth, okay? All right, guys, second part of this truck we're gonna check into, it's gonna be this cabin air filter. Last time I was out here, there wasn't one in it. We didn't have one on the van, so we were going to put one in anyway, but we did clean, as part of our original service, the evaporator core. Make sure that it was clean and not filthy. So we're going to open this guy up in here and see what's going on with this evaporator core. Find out how dirty it is now. And we brought the filter with us this time to go ahead and replace it. This truck gets used in a very, very, very dusty, dirty environment. This is one of those things for you heavy-duty operators. You guys have got to keep up on these cabin air filters. This will do a lot of damage to your air conditioning system. And when it's 105 outside and you're burning up, you'll be happy you remembered to do this. Good. And yeah, so yeah, here we are all over again, guys. This is a muddy mess. Yeah, it's no wonder the AC system is freezing up. This is disgusting. Yeah. Let me see that. Let's see if we can get in there and take a look at that guy. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that is a muddy, muddy mess, guys. See all this right there? See that big glob? That's mud, guys. That whole evaporator core is just absolutely coated in mud. Now, guys, we can see, I'm going to take a look in there now. You guys can see the difference. That's nice and clean all the way back. Got rid of all that mud. We've got good drainage over here on the drain side. Everything's good. We're going to put her back together and get her recharged. We'll see what's going on.
So this simple little air filter right there could have fixed all of that problem you just saw. Just simply changing out that air filter.
Yep, that's all it would have took.
Sometimes simple maintenance goes a long ways, gentlemen.
Yeah, so let me pull this back out real quick, guys. I'm going to show you a little something. Ultimately, this really is not very difficult, and these were changed. But like I said, the can will damage these. So you guys see what we're looking at here, okay? That is the new Schrader valve. You see how the pintle and everything is in line and straight. These basically just go in here with the correct tool. We're just gonna screw this guy down. There's no reason to go crazy on it. It's got a seal, okay? Now she's gonna come to a gentle stop right there, and then you just give her a little snug, okay? Now you can look in there and see that everything's in line. That's the way she should look. But those Freon cans from AutoZone, O'Reilly's, any of the parts houses, their connector will get in there and break that thing. It physically bent this one to the side so that we were no longer centered. When it broke this fitting, it caused this to start leaking. The system went low and started to freeze up. So now we'll put this all back together. My customer will have a sealed system yet again. We'll get it evacuated, recharged to the correct amount, and double check everything. All right, so after we got the Schrader valve fixed, went ahead and evacuated the system, pulled the vacuum on it, held on the vacuum test. We went ahead and recharged system to system capacity, 2.88 pounds. Went ahead and ran it. At that point, we had a low side that was hovering around 24 to 26 psi, but dropping, and a high side about 145, 150. Now our vent temperature was actually very good. We were sitting right around 52 degrees at idle, and it's about 96 degrees out here as our thermal load. So we had quite a good temperature variance, but this truck, after we cleaned the evaporator core and installed the new evaporator core filter, cabin air filter, at that point, we thought we should be getting better airflow. The reality of it is we're still not getting great airflow, which is why our low side pressures are where they are. We started about 24, 25 psi, but by the end of the test, we were dropping into the 19, 18 psi range. Eventually, if this continues on with low airflow, we're going to end up freezing up the lines again, and eventually we'll do some damage. So the recommendation for this customer, they need a blower motor. They need that whole blower circuit basically replaced. We need to clean that out. That mud is probably everywhere, but we have got to get better airflow. Better airflow, we'd get our low side up to 32 to 36 and we'd be good.
And this all started, with somebody who probably just didn't do the maintenance on
Exactly.
filters.
Yeah, what happened was, we didn't have a cabin air filter. We had low side pressure that dropped. It froze up the evaporator core because the evaporator core was absolutely covered in mud. So we drop low side pressure, everything freezes up. Somebody goes off, looks on the internet. Oh, why is my evaporator core freezing? Low refrigerant. They don't have an actual way to check refrigerant level. No, they go down, grab a can, throw it on there, and then in the process, damage the Schrader valve. So you had a system that didn't have a leak to begin with. You created a leak by hooking your AutoZone can, O'Reilly's can, whatever, car store can, to this low side port. When they did that, they created a leak. So then we do have a low Freon situation. But the original freezing evaporator core was caused by airflow, not lack of Freon. So ultimately, that's kind of the story all the way around. Oh, this is my symptom. Let me jump on the internet and find out what's going on with it. When you should jump on the internet and call an expert. At the end of the day, if it's beyond your scope, call an expert, okay?
You end up saving money in the long run.
You end up saving money in the long run, okay? You don't want hot air conditioning? We want to fix it. At the end of the day, we have the tools to correctly fix it the right way. You're not throwing money at wasted parts or taking the possibility of damaging something further. This was an additional hour of my time to fix this that would have never been damaged had they not tried to put Freon in it themselves.